Morning, everybody. What's up? Let me get connected over to the comment section and we'll go ahead and get started. Hope everybody's doing okay. It's a beautiful day out. Everybody should be doing great. Sunday fun day, which is always nice. I know I've been looking forward to Sunday all week. Get to make some Ronald Coward, what's up, buddy? How are you? If you can hear and see me okay, please hit the like button so I know that everybody can hear and see me okay. That would be great. Loud and clear. That's all I need. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you. Let me just get connected to... Sometimes when I switch on, it makes me restart all this. I don't know why, but it does. So, try and do this again. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Sometimes I just have to go back and then redo it. So that's what we had to do. There we go. We're in now. Technology. Ain't it great? Alright, so there we go. Alright, so anyway. Down on here. See who else checking in. Lily's Farm, what's going on? Good to see you. Old Man with a Pan, good to see you. Good Sunday morning to you. Hope everybody's having as good a day as I am. But yeah, today, so we're going to make Kung Pao chicken. We're going to steer away from breakfast again this week and go to lunch. Because I've been wanting Kung Pao chicken. That's really what it is. This isn't much of a tutorial. This is a super easy version. What I did with this Kung Pao recipe that we'll be doing today is I went through and I kind of took out a lot of the minutia that's in a lot of recipes, because like anywhere you go for Kung Pao chicken takeout, it's generally different than the place right across the street. So what I did with this is, Bob the Builder, what's up, buddy? So what I did with this is I just took out, like I said, a lot of the minutia, and what we'll be doing is just making a really simple, easy way. Kind of like a shelf, something you can just make like, kind of like right out of basically what you have in your pantry for the most part. I can't wait to see. Yeah. Hey Tucker, what's going on, man? Good to see. What's going on with you? But yeah, and so anyway, we'll do the star of the show today. Since the Beagle is somewhere sleeping, we're going to be using the big 14-inch cast iron wok with the 14-inch lid. One of the coolest things I've picked up from as far as cast iron pieces go this year, and I am going to do it on my portable camp stove, because I have an electric stove, and I highly recommend, if you ever do with a big wok like this, you definitely need a strong heat source. So I do this on the camping stove. It's a little odd. It may look a little weird, but there we go. I can't even get the whole darn thing in there. It's humongous. But these things are great. You can pick them up on Amazon for like 45 bucks. And like I said, the best thing I bought this year, as far as cast iron goes, that I can remember. I'm sure I might have picked up something else that was pretty cool this year, but as far as I can think of, that's all we did. And I'm just going to do simple rice. I'm just going to do white rice on the back burner there. And in the old Cynthia Wesley Tefal pan in the back, because I hate boiling in my cast iron. And so we'll get started. Let's see, cool walk. Thanks, Greg. Hey, good to see you, Greg. Thanks so much for showing up today. Appreciate it. Thanks for moderating. Keeping out the riff-raff, as they say. But let me get the stand back around somewhat. Always like working around somebody standing in the middle of my kitchen. But we'll get our chicken out, and I'm going to start cutting that up. I'm going to heat this up. Get the this bad boy kind of hopefully going. What's going on there? It's going to fit. Oh, get that thing going. I might have to get another canister. I thought that one was fuller than it is. Oh well. There we go. That should do it. Go ahead and heat that, get that just warmed up. Just get it on real low. Always remember, for the folks new to cast iron, always heat your pans up first. Start low, low and grow. That's how you got. That's the soundest advice I can that I can give to anybody. One Delish, what's up, buddy? How are you? Good to see you. I saw your video with the cabbage soup. That looks really good. That's like on my to-do. That's on my to-do list of things I want to try. It's a good one. Pretty standard, but it looks great. You did a good job on it. But anyway, let me get the chicken out. We're going to be using about a pound, a little more than 1.5 pounds of chicken. Chicken thighs. And I did dry these out. I've had these sitting out since about 5 o'clock this morning. I'll set these on here. I'm going to trim these because this should, if I trim these off, then that should keep the beagle out of my hair while I'm making everything else. Just got 4 nice already boned out. I hate bone. I know everybody says that boning thighs is super easy. I hate boning thighs. I really do. I hate deboning thighs. It's one of the worst things I think there is to do out there. As far as chicken goes, I'd rather cut the whole chicken up and start with a whole chicken than just bone the thigh out. One of those things. Everybody hates something in the kitchen, and that's one of my top 5 things to not want to do. I'll pay the extra buck of 50 cents or $1 a pound for the butcher to do that for me. Let me wash my hands, even though I'm going to be handling that chicken here in a minute. Since I neglected to get gloves yesterday, I will be washing my hands quite a bit today. And then we'll marinate this off. Since this is a really quick dish, I figured I'd just go through the whole thing with it. Normally, if I had something that was going to take a long time, I would kind of take some steps out. But this is pretty quick, so this shouldn't take too long. Like I said, I'm just going to make simple rice with it. White rice, 2 cups of water, 1 cup of rice. And I'm going to leave these pieces on here for the beegs. We'll be digging on some chicken here in a minute. But yeah, I'm going to take my time and do all this stuff. Should have got another little bowl so I could put her scrap pieces into it. But yeah, I dry these out. I really don't like it. Chicken thighs is like my biggest thing I do not like working with, because they're so, even though I dried these, I towel dried them off and I did all that, they're just slimy. And they just, especially I don't like using them on a wood cutting board, because I don't like putting meat on my cutting boards like that. And so they slide around even more on the plastic guard over there. Miss Scott, what's going on? How are you in Finley? Good to see you again. Do you add soy and hold on, I gotta put my glasses back on. And corn. I do not add, you mean like the little corns? If you mean the little corns, no, I do not put the little corns in there. Because, to be really honest with you, I do not, that's one of the things that if there's anything left, which there's usually nothing left in my takeout box from my local Chinese place, it's those little corns they put in there. They just have, I don't know. Archer, what's going on? Yeah, making Kung Pao chicken. Good to see you. But yeah, I absolutely do not like those little corns. They just have a real earthy taste to me, which is a nice way of saying I think they taste kind of like dirt. And there's nothing, no matter what you dress them up with, it's they still have that taste to me. You know. Let's see. Yeah, sub me up, man. I'm almost to 1,000. That'd be nice. It'd be nice to hit that today. Because it's like that close. I mean, I could hit it today at some point. I don't know if I can actually see my sub count while I'm doing this. I've never looked. And I never really looked at the subs too much until I got to like almost a like I was closing in on 500. And then I've been watching now because because I'm so close to hitting 1,000. So, and after that, I'll shut up about it. So I do this more just to hang out and cook. Man, that board is so slippery to work on. And I just sharpened this knife right before we came on. For all the folks that always go, your knife is dull. I'm cooking on that little board. That doesn't help because this thing wants to move around. But, you know, you make excuses all day, right? This guy cooks in real time. That's a chef. Yeah, that's one of the things about this I like doing. I like to see, you know, people can edit and they can do all these videos of editing their stuff down, and nobody ever sees how long it really takes or mistakes that you can make or things like that. And the other thing with the scraps that I'm going to cook these first before I do that because I like using real chicken fat as, you know, kind of, you get more of that flavor using the chicken trimmings and the skin, and you get all that chicken, you get the fat from that, and it adds a lot of flavor to whatever you're cooking. I'll be glad to get off this board though, or off this liner thing that I got on there. These are just really slippery. That on there. There we go. And yeah, and like I said, I'm not in a hurry today because once this gets going, it's gonna go and it's gonna be done. So, and when we get this marinated, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna velvet this with some cornstarch, a little soy sauce, maybe some oyster. I think I've got some oyster sauce in there. And oyster sauce is nice if you have it. But in Kung Pao, for whatever reason, when I make Kung Pao any other time, in most things, I don't notice it. But in Kung Pao, for whatever reason, I notice oyster sauce. So I add just a little bit. The same with sesame oil. I usually throw just a little. Sesame oil is pretty strong, right? So, hey, what's up, Justin? See, I knew somebody was gonna say that, dude. I was just talking about how slippery this thing is right here. I'm going like super slow, so I don't cut my hand, so I don't cut myself. These little liners, and I just sharpened this knife, but this board liner is so, it's so slippery that, and I just sharpened the knife. This knife's actually really sharp, and you'll see, like when I go to the vegetables. And that's the other thing. I didn't want to I'm going to be doing vegetables here in a second. So I wanted to, I didn't want to have to clean my board off. So I'm really weird about that. And usually I wear gloves, to be honest. But my gloves I didn't pick them up at the store when I was there. And I didn't have time for them to be delivered in my order that I got that coming today. So I'm trying not to cut myself on this in front of people. There we go. And like I said, I started out with about 1.5 pounds of chicken. A little more than that. So by the time I get down to the nitty gritty of it all, we'll have about 1.5 pounds. There we go. And the rest, I'm going to throw into the wok and let that start oiling, getting that oil processed. So let me just move you guys over here. And I'm going to throw that right into the wok, right there. Take the lid off. It's already heating up pretty well. I'm pretty happy with that for the most part. And we'll throw the Beagles pieces in there. Plus the dog can't have the onions and all the other stuff that's going to go in there, so this gives her a little snack without all the other stuff. Then I can keep these off to the side and let her mess around with that. Let me wash well, I don't need to wash my hands. We'll do it. We'll go from here. Yeah, it will be here pretty soon. Smoking Bears, what's up, buddy? Maybe they have those gloves or something. I'm never gonna live the lettuce. I bought the lettuce from Subway down. Let's see, turn that down and get rid of the, I can get rid of this thing now, finally. Put that off to the side. And then what we'll do is get my handy dandy list. And then, so what we need here is a tablespoon of cornstarch, roughly. Tablespoon of cornstarch. Then we'll get a tablespoon of vinegar. Tablespoon, what did I do with my vinegar? I just had my vinegar out. I must put it away. Out of habit. Now, a lot of times you'll see people use rice wine vinegar and stuff like that. I just don't. Regular vinegar's fine. I've never had anybody say, man, I can't taste the rice. I can tell this doesn't have rice wine vinegar in it. I've never had anybody do that when I make this. So a tablespoon of that. It is a tablespoon, yep, a tablespoon. Tablespoon of that. And then 2 tablespoons, or 2 teaspoons of soy sauce. 2 teaspoons of soy sauce. And what we're doing right now is we're velveting the chicken. That's why the chicken at Chinese restaurants, they taste a lot different than what you get at home, because they let that sit. And I'm gonna let this hang out in there for about 15 minutes. You can do it overnight if you want. You can do it. I recommend at least a minimum of 15 minutes. A half hour is great if you have another half hour, but we don't. So throw that stuff over here. And let me see. And 1 teaspoon of the wok oil. And I love this stuff. I'm about to show you. The House of Sang wok oil. This is where it's at. Right there. A lot of times the restaurants, they use water. I use this, and it's already infused with oil, ginger and garlic. There we go. And a teaspoon. I'm going to do just a little bit more. That looks kind of light. So I'm going to do 2 teaspoons. I could have just done 1 tablespoon of the wok oil. That back off to the side. Move my knife out of the way. Lift my glasses up. Let's see. Can you show me again what it looks like? Do you mean the oil? Walks up, Greg. Man, I see what you did there. I see what you did. Yeah, House of Sang stir fry oil. I love this stuff. It makes such a difference in home Asian cooking. I mean, it really does. House of Sang stuff, not all of it's that great, but that really is. That really is good stuff. And it's super cheap. You can get it I think I have to get this at Meijer. Or Meijer and Kroger here has it. Let me see. So let me make sure that was everything that I needed to put in there. So we'll just get that all worked into there. There we go. It's going to be a lot more than I thought it was going to be. But I've only had this wok. I think I've only had this wok about maybe 4 or 5 months at the most. I've probably used it. I've used it quite a bit. But generally, I don't make recipes when I do like stir fry. I just find stuff around the house and throw it in there. And let that sit. Make sure you get the cornstarch all over the place. Sometimes people use baking soda in Asian cooking to velvet. I don't with Asian cooking, because I can really taste it, especially if you don't rinse it off, and it becomes more of a process. This is just so much easier. And really, we're about done. That's like the hardest part of the whole thing. And the next thing, we'll throw our sauce together. After I wash my hands. Trying to read that. Hey Rusty, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you. Yeah, this is where I miss my gloves. I really do. But yeah, we'll let that sit about 15 minutes. Pretty much about as long as it takes to get everything else ready to go. And then we'll be in there. Like I said, this doesn't take long at all. Because I'm just using, in the back there, you can see I just got a cup of long grain rice, some peanuts, some chilies from the garden, and that's really about it. Wipe this little spot off here, and we'll get our sauce ready to go. Yeah, so move that off to the side. And we'll get our sauce together. And that is just 3 tablespoons of soy sauce. I am going to throw a little bit of oyster sauce in there. I was going to throw the marinade, I'll just throw it in here. 3 tablespoons of soy sauce. At the end, at the very end of this, remind me, because I'm going to do a cornstarch slurry with about a tablespoon of cornstarch, which would be about what's left of that cornstarch there. And then we're going to do a little, there we go, set that right like that. Get a teaspoon of sugar. About a teaspoon of sugar. Now a lot of times they go more sugar forward. I don't like to have that much sugar in there. But it does actually, if you leave it out, you can really tell. At least I can. I can really tell that it's not in there. There we go. About a teaspoon. I just tried to put these on there today, so I'm getting used to this. Because I got tired of like trying to dig those up all the time. So we'll see what happens. If that works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Then we need another half teaspoon of vinegar. Half teaspoon of vinegar. Half teaspoon of vinegar. Which, if you had rice wine vinegar, you'd just use rice wine vinegar. I think I'm going to get a little plate down to put that thing on. Put these on. Need a little bowl. Keep those in while they're not sitting there. Let's see. So then, let me see. Vinegar. 1/8 cup of water. Make sure that's the 1/8. It should be. 1/8 cup of water. There we go. And 1 teaspoon of the cornstarch. Might end up having to get more cornstarch out. Let's say a teaspoon of the cornstarch. 1 teaspoon, yep. There we go. And that should be it for the sauce. There we go. We'll give a little whisk. And whisk that all together. Now I'm using raw sugar, so I'm going to do that for a little, give it a little extra so that all dissolves. Then we'll go check on, make sure I put everything in there. There we go. Check the comment section, see what's going on in there. I've got white vinegar too. Looks like a slurry for sure. Yeah. We'll add a little bit more. We'll add another slurry at the end, which would just like a, If it's thick and if it's too thick, if it's not thick enough, then we'll just add a teaspoon of cornstarch and a teaspoon of water to the very end. I'm trying to think of what else we need here. I do need to move this chicken back around. There, move it back. Then I'm going to turn that heat up just a little bit on there. There we go. You can see, I'll show you what I'm talking about here. See what I mean with all the, we're reducing that, we're rendering that fat out of there into this. I'm getting all that good chicken flavor onto the sides and everywhere. That natural fat. And I'll give that to the beagle. So I'm surprised the beagle is not out here doing beagle stuff right now. I love the wok. Yeah, these woks are cool, man. I can't believe out of all the cast iron that I have, but I always, for stir fry, I used a Lodge number 10 for like ever in a day. That's just what I used. And it's just, everything comes out so much better. And especially with this little camp stove, so I just keep that underneath the rack over there and just keep on the shelf. And when I want to break it out, it's nicer on the patio too. A lot of times I got a little patio table out there. We put this whole little unit out there, and we'll do like stir fries right on the patio. It's pretty rad. That stuff taken off there. We'll come back over here and we'll start cutting up our vegetables. Let me rinse these off. Give them another rinse. I gave them one, but we'll give them another. We'll give them one more quick rinse. There we go. Move our sauce off to the side. We don't need that yet. Not quite yet, anyway. And I'll get my cup out. This doesn't take up much room. Go over to here. We'll start cutting up our vegetables and get those ready to go. And I don't know, whatever. I mean, you can put like whatever you want in this, to be really honest. Whatever you want. And before I do that though, I want to put in 2 cups of water in there and start heating that up. So we'll put our 2 cups of water in there and we'll get that going. Or one bottle of water. There we go. Let me see here. I love spicy kung pao chicken. Yeah, and this is going to be super spicy because I've got my Tabasco peppers from out of the garden, and then I've got 2 cayennes from out of the garden that are dehydrated. And I mean it's going to be nice and spicy. And we'll do like the 2 cup, 1 cup on the rice. We'll do that little method. Get that heated up. There we go. Move this back just a little bit. This stand is so big. Like so hard to work. It's hard to work around sometimes. So hard to work around. There we go. Okay. But yeah, where's everybody checking in from today? There's a lot of folks in this morning. Hanging out. Detroit, there you go. Right down the street. Detroit, yeah. I'm actually not very far from Detroit. Just a couple hours down the street, man. Right up 75. I used to go through Detroit a lot. I used to go to Detroit quite a bit. I used to go to Greektown for the Oompa cheese. I'm sure you know where that. I'm trying to think what the name of that Greek restaurant is we always go to up there. Oh, Central Florida. Very cool. Very cool. But yeah, we used to go. What's the name of that? What do they call that part of? What do they call that part of Detroit? Where the is it Greek Town or Greek Village? It's been a minute since I've been up there, but I used to go quite a bit. And go to the Greek. There's a Greek restaurant there, and they would. It was one of those. They were famous for it. I mean, they would just. And I forget the name of the cheese, but they would use the orange liqueur, and they would light the cheese on fire. And that was like your appetizer, and then you had this like really good Greek bread that went with it. It was super good. Then head over to Windsor, where things got the way they did. Let's see here. See if we got anything else in there. Oompa, yeah, 100%. Yeah, did you already put it up with the? Yeah, Greektown, but there was a restaurant, and I'm trying to think. I bet it's still there, because it's like super famous. Because I'd go up to see a friend of mine that lived in Detroit. Her parents were professors at Wright State in Michigan, in Detroit University. And whenever I'd go up there, she would take us to that restaurant. Then we'd go over to Windsor and try not to get into too much trouble in Windsor. I'm going to set that off the side because I'm going to use that for the top. Then we got our pepper. Yeah, Detroit was fun, man. I used to like to go to Detroit. I still like going. Not every year, but like every other year, I will take in a Tigers game. I like going to the Tiger Stadium. I like getting up there. That's pretty. I like that. I love that stadium. And I'm not an American League guy, but if I root American League, I always root for Detroit. I used to like to go up there when Max Scherzer was pitching, and Verlander. You see, you had Max Scherzer and Verlander pitching for the Tigers. That was awesome. Take this chicken. I'm gonna take this chicken fat off and let that cool for the beast. I still can't believe she's not in here, man. Because her favorite thing in the planet is chicken. Yeah, man, I dig their stadium. I always did. It's got that big tiger, the big tiger statue on it. I mean, that's pretty rad. There we go. Just cut these. I'm not gonna make them really small. Because I don't need it to be uniformed. I just need it to be cut down into bite-sized pieces. Nothing fancy. Anytime I go to a Chinese restaurant, they're not measuring it. And we have a Chinese restaurant here, and it's like Chinese. Like people that work there, like when you order something, it's by numbers. It's not by like you're not really talking to them. You're just kind of showing them. And it's one of those places where like, you never have the same chefs, that kind of place. You know what I'm talking about. And then I'm not going to get all into it, but you never get kung pao the same. I never get kung pao. I always get a lot of, like 99% of the time when I go to a Chinese restaurant, I get kung pao chicken because I just like to, you know, kind of like to know what I'm getting. But there, it's kind of even more fun because they always have somebody different cooking. And since kung pao is just like, it's got a base, but then it's like whatever somebody wants to do with it. There we go. Nice and crispy. Just the way the beagle likes it. Just the way. That's a nice little snack for a little dog. And no onions or garlic or any of that stuff. So when she comes out to do her, because, you know, between the walk and the beagle, those are the stars of the show. I'm just here hanging out. Nobody comes to see me. I go for sushi too with lots of ginger. I've never had much sushi. I've always had the sushi, like lobster sushi. That's what I've had that I like. Mike the Bird for no, yeah, exactly. The pitcher. Yeah, didn't he? I think he ended up becoming after he retired. I think he became a farmer. Like he ended up becoming a farmer. And speaking of baseball, man, rest in peace to when I get on here, my names escape me. Todd Snyder. Now a lot of folks don't know who Todd Snyder may be, but Todd Snyder was a kind of a folk singer type guy. He was kind of Dylan-esque. He was sort of a troubadour, but he was a huge baseball fan, and he just passed away the weekend before last. And he did a song about Doc Ellis, and a lot of folks probably don't know who Doc Ellis is. But Doc Ellis is the only baseball player in the history of baseball that we know of that ever pitched a no-hitter on LSD. And Todd Snyder wrote an entire song about it. California rolls are great. Yeah, I do like a good California roll. Squirrels come to visit me. You know, the dog and the relationship between the squirrels and the dog, it's fairly personal at this point. And you can see in past short videos of her going back and forth with the squirrels. We've got one that comes up onto the patio, and I know that squirrel comes up here just to make her mad, along with that cat that lives down the street. They both come up just to give her the business. Let me see here. So I got my water's boiling back there. I'm going to drop my rice in, and I'm going to put a lid on that. So yeah, 2 cups, 1 cup. We're going to let that get up to a boil. And I don't think I really need to take you guys over to show you that. That's just boiling rice. But what I do with it, and it comes out okay, is I throw a little bit, I'll show you, well I will show you guys. I throw a little bit of dehydrated chive in there just for a little bit of color. Like so. I'll show you what I'm talking about. We'll get you guys, drag you over this way. There we go. So I throw that in there and then stir that up. And we'll let that go to a boil. That gets a boil. And then we'll cover it to a nice bubble, and then we'll cover that up, and we'll let that simmer for 20 minutes. Oh, I just had that lid. Oh, there it is. Make sure I don't lose the lid. No, I just got flour all over it. There we go. We'll let that sit there. Yeah, Cynthia Leslie fan. So there we go. So I throw a little bit of that stuff in there. And what time is it? Okay, it's been 20 minutes. So we're just about ready. I'm going to double check my recipe. And there's a little bit of chicken in there. Oh, well, I ain't gonna hurt nothing. Nobody else is eating it but me. And me. So we get that on there. And I'll drop that down to the simmer with the lid on it. With the flour all over the lid. And we'll let that hang out and do its thing for 20 minutes. And we should have some rice. So while we're waiting on all that, we can come over here and get started on this. Let me check my recipe, make sure I don't forget anything, which I won't. No, I will. So first, I'm going to do this a little out of order. For what some people would consider out of order. But first we're going to do the peanuts, which is 1/8 of a cup of peanuts. I don't like a whole lot of peanuts in there. I like some. And we'll let these get in here and hang out. We're going to heat back up. We don't want to burn them, we just want to roast them up and get them oily. And getting them oily is just fine. Rickster, what's up? Throw a little oil into here. Add a little bit of our wok oil. About a tablespoon or so. And keep these moving. I just want to kind of roast them and warm them. And then we're going to set them off to the side. There we go. I want them to sit down there and kind of brown up. I don't want to burn them. But there's a method to my madness. Believe it or not, there really is. Let those kind of sit down there, soak up all that flavor. That chickeny goodness. Tyler Durden, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. I'm still dealing with family issue. Oh, gotcha. Roger that. Roger that. Unfortunate. Sorry to hear that, my friend. And then what I'm going to do is, I'm going to let those sit in there for a minute. Not too long. Well, they're done right now. We're going to take those off of there. That might actually be that's too much. Let me look at them. It might be too much. I think that's too much. I'm going to get some more peanuts in there. That's a little too much. I think I'm just going to, these are going to go to the squirrel. We'll just redo the peanuts. That's not a big deal. Check my heat. Yeah, my heat's up a little high. Turn that heat down a little bit. We'll do the peanuts again. Like I said, I'm in no hurry, but I'm not going to eat burnt peanuts just for the sake of doing it. And I'm not going to show you guys how I do it wrong, so do it the wrong way. But I was sitting there trying to get that plate ready. So let me turn that down, get my plate ready to go, and I'll add in another 1/4 cup peanuts. These are just regular old peanuts, nothing fancy. But they just need like a minute or so. Maybe a little bit more than that. Ooh, I almost forgot. I forgot the garlic. I did forget that. So we'll toast that up and then we'll do the garlic here in a minute. I did forget to get the garlic out. This will just take like literally 30 seconds to a minute. And then we'll take those out and put those on the plate. There we go. That's all they need. And then we'll throw in our chicken. Just about a minute. Turn that heat up just a little bit more. There we go. Now we're going to throw in our chicken. When he names the squirrels, we have a problem. Yeah, I bet I'm sure the dog was going to name the squirrels at some point. Uh-oh. Here it comes. Here comes the star. Oh, let me throw a little bit more oil into there. Just a smidge more. There we go. Turn that heat up just a pinch more. Squirrel and rice. Man, I haven't had squirrel. I haven't had squirrel in a long time. I'm not a super big fan of squirrel. I know some people like it. I'm not big on my list. But you know, the only time I've ever had it is when I made it. So that could be something too. Yeah, squirrel. Yeah. Anyway, the old jazzy way. Yeah, to make the what do you call it? Fried rice. Down a little bit. And then I don't have water chestnuts, so I always cut these up a little bit and just add some of the bottom as water chestnuts. The bottoms of the broccoli stock. And that works out really nice. Throw the rest of the stalks away. Throw those into there. So I'm going to cut that garlic up. Because next, we're going in order. Next we're going to do the garlic and the hot peppers. And then we're just going to start, can you hear that dog? She's in there barking at her tail. She's literally barking at her tail right now. She's showing her tail who's boss. So let me get a couple cloves of garlic. About 3. Throw those in here. 2, 3 cloves of garlic. That garlic back there where it was before. And my garlic roll. There we go. There we go. Garlic's tough. There we go. Just stir this. This is coming along pretty decent right now. Not too bad. Hey Jennifer, what's up? Now I want chicken. Yeah, me too. Oh, we're finally shot Bugs Bunny cooking. Probably tastes a lot like carrot. That rabbit had it coming. He's tormented Elmer Fudd for years. Yep. That get in there. I'm gonna crank that up just a little bit. I'm gonna crank that up just a little bit more. We'll cut our garlic up here real quick. There we go. Don't want too small, because it'll just, if I get it too small, it'll just turn to dust. Just turn into burnt dust in that wok. So that's good enough. All right. Make sure I go in the right order here. Chicken, or sure, yeah. We'll add a little bit of green onions last. Okay, yeah. Then we'll throw our veggies in. We're kind of at a little, not a really like a standstill, but just waiting on this chicken to get done. There we go. Check comments, see what's going on. Rock Caver, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Didn't know there was such a thing. Didn't know such a thing as what? Cast iron wok? It smells really good. I mean, it smells really, really nice. And I'm glad I didn't go with 2 pounds. A pound and a half is just about right for this size wok, which this is a pretty good size wok, actually. I'm gonna give my rice a little spin around, see how it's doing. Because I admit, and everybody that knows this channel knows, I do not make the greatest rice in the world. I do not make great rice. That seems to be coming along. Rice seems to be coming along okay. Go ahead and turn that down even more. That's got about 7 minutes or so. Is that in there? It's kind of taking a while, isn't it? You just need to go get that heat going a little better. Maybe it helped if I centered it up. There we go. Because on the bottom of this, it's got a good, like, 1/2-inch piece of solid iron on the bottom. There's no direct flame to the bottom of this. It goes up through the center, so to heat it up a little bit, I'm just going to go bypass. I'm going to do the whole thing and get that going up there. I think I need it. I'm being kind of cautious with the heat. Which I don't need to be. I need to be cranking it up. And hopefully my canister, I have more canisters, but lots of folks this morning. Welcome all. Yeah. Let me check it out. Is there? Oh yeah, we got all kinds of folks in here this morning. That's very cool. Yeah, that just needs a little more heat. Heat that. Because you want the chicken to be done. I want this chicken done before I pull it. I'm going to pull this, then I'm going to pull this, and then I'm going to add, the garlic and the hot peppers. Yeah, and go that route. And then we'll add everything in there. And the sauce will be last. And I'm also going to throw that lid on there for just about 30 seconds and get that, kind of get the process going a little bit. Oh yeah, I'm running out of gas. Hold on. Let me throw the lid on it. I just got to go grab another fuel tank. That only takes a second. They're just sitting right outside the door. Yeah, that's the big deal. All right. Yeah, that's why we're not heating up. It's I gotta change this canister out right quick without burning my hand. It should only take a second. There we go. All right, let me get rid of this other canister. I'll be right back. We'll let that heat up again. That's the problem. Is it a camping? Yeah, it's a camping burner. Yeah, I have an electric stove. It doesn't get hot enough to do stir fry. Let me throw this back out in recycling. There we go. That solves a lot of problems. I was wondering what was taking that thing so long. Why that wasn't getting hot. There we go. That looks a lot better. There we go. There we go. Now that'll crisp up. Yeah, I was like, man, this thing is like slowly. And I had it up pretty high. So yeah, now we're in business now. Sorry about that, guys. That'll be rocking now. A little bit more oil in there. Just a touch. It's starting to get a little stick. There we go. Let's see what's going on in the comment section. Hey Jane, what's going on? I saw mine from Boy Scouts. I'm up for the challenge when it comes to food. Let's see. Looks bland. Yeah. Let's see. 360 Guns and Roses. Oh, you must have missed the beginning part. And we're doing it in steps too. Let's see. Break out the cooking wine. Yeah, no kidding. If I broke out the cooking wine, I'd probably be drinking it. There was enough drinking in the last episode, actually. I don't know how much of that Bavarian beer I ended up drinking when we made that pork roast. Try a piece of this. That's good. Remind me when I put this back in, put a little bit of that oyster sauce in there. I did forget the oyster sauce. Yeah, that came out pretty good. I was kind of disappointed with my potatoes. I overdid the potatoes, but I had a lot going on in that one. Imagine how it would be if it had really good potatoes. Just put it that way. If that makes any if that makes sense. There we go. And that's one of the things, you know, that's another thing that's like kind of new to me. Like I always used to just like to make mashed potatoes. I never made mashed potatoes like the standard way to make mashed potatoes. I always made mashed potatoes like I would literally mash the potatoes up with butter and milk and then put them in the oven and bake them. That's how I've always done it. You taking off the way? All right, see you later. Hit the like button on your way out. That'd be great. Appreciate it. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to turn my rice off. Rice is done. And I'm going to let that sit in the back and marinate while I mess with this. Yeah, the rice isn't bad. There we go. Take that off the heat and let it stay warm in the back. On the back burner. Put it back there. And now this is done now. This is done. That's done now. Okay, so what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to grab that plate with the peanuts in the back there. And we'll pull that off. And we're going to turn that heat way down. I'm going to pull this off of there. This is now done. If it ain't done by now, it ain't getting done. That's it. Pull this off of there. There we go. Okay, get that off there. Anytime Television, what's up, buddy? Okay, throw some more oil into there. I've been kind of slacking on the oil. There we go. And we'll throw our chilies. So what I've got here is I've got, sorry, I forgot to take the top off that. I've got 2 Tabasco chilies from the plants outside, and 2 cayennes that were dehydrated from the plants outside. There we go. And the garlic. We'll throw that in there. And we're gonna let that just kind of hang out in there for a minute. If you're working with dehydrated chilies and you want to put them in some water for about a minute, that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing at all. So there, we'll do that for about a minute. I'm gonna move my cutting board because I don't need the cutting board anymore. Cutting board out the way. Another piece of garlic in there. And I don't need the knife anymore. There we go. All right. Yes, it is a wok. Maybe move it back just a little bit more. You can see what we're working with. Kind of adjust the angle, make it taller. There you go. Is that better? That's a little better. I'm just kind of sweating this part off. And then we're going to go to the vegetable part. Work some of those bits off of there. Check my recipe and make sure that I'm not forgetting anything, because I can tend to forget a few things. Make sure I got everything. Tablespoon soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of sugar. Yeah. And I want to make sure that I don't forget to add the oyster sauce. Where is my oyster sauce? There it is. So we got that part in there. We got those nice and shiny, which is about where we want to be with that. And we're going to add in our vegetables into there. There we go. There's that. We're like rounded. We're heading to the home stretch right now. Put you guys back over top of there. There you go. You can see what's going on. Those in there for just a second. Get that. We'll do this for about 2 minutes at a medium-high heat. Yeah, I really neglected the oil. You can see the stuff, all the cornstarch got stuck to the bottom. Oh well. That was my fault. But it ain't stopping nothing. There we go. I'm gonna make myself something to drink. Looks good. Thanks, David. Appreciate it. Oh, it smells amazing, man. I can't even. I'm sitting here not even talking about it. It smells fantastic. It really does. I'm gonna throw just a little bit of oyster sauce into there. My hands are greasy. There we go. A little bit of that oyster sauce, just a touch. There we go. And when I do this, I'm also going to add a 4th cup of water. Yeah, this is smelling really good. And I can really start, I'm really starting to smell the spice too. Because these Tabasco peppers, I know people say the Szechuan pepper is pretty hot. My Tabasco peppers and my cayenne peppers out of my garden are fire. We had such a dry summer this year. It just made the peppers like super, super hot. And I might even still put some. I've got some of the cayennes I crushed up with the Tabascos when I was dehydrating. I might just sprinkle a little bit of that in there too. That's looking pretty good. Take that stuff off the bottom. Yeah, that thing where we got it hot and then it cooled. That ran out of the gas. That didn't help me out much. So let's throw the rest of our sauce in there. Turn that down. Turn that way down so we don't burn our sauce. And I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of water to that. And 1/4 cup of water. And just a little bit of water. There we go. And we're going to add just a little bit more of our cornstarch. That last little teaspoon of cornstarch to that one spot right there. Just wanted it to heat up a little bit. And I'll stir that in. I don't know what oh, there's my little. Do it while it's warm. That way the cornstarch doesn't get lumpy. A little bit more of the oyster to that. Just a smidge more. It calls for a tablespoon. And I think that's about right where I'm at. It's right about a tablespoon. Thicken up that sauce just a touch more. Because we got to throw in. Oh, I forgot to put it. Okay, now, so now we'll add, that should be plenty. That should be cool. Now that's gonna, and then we'll throw our peanuts and our chicken back in there. There we go. As I promised. See now it's starting to look shiny. You guys can you guys see that okay? Without being in the section there. There we go. Lower the heat. I might. There we go. I'm actually going to turn the heat. I'm going to turn the heat off now. And there we go. We are rounding third. We're rounding third and heading for home. There we go. Because I don't want to cook my sauce any more than that and get it to stick. Because we're going to serve this up just the way it is. I'm just going to move a couple things out of my way. And we're going to give that a day in court. Yeah, I'm going to keep it real. What's going on? Good to see you. Glad you could make it. I'll get down. I probably could have used that plate. I want to move some of the stuff out of my way. So I can plate that up right here. That'll just be a second. Gosh, I didn't think this would be as big a mess as it is, but wipe that off, wipe the counter off, and we'll give it a try. All right, let's get you guys right here. There we go. Or actually, I'll just bring you guys back over here. That'll be just as easy. Keep it right there. Dish up a little bit of this rice. Dish myself up a little bit of rice here. Need to fluff that rice up a little bit. I should have forked the rice. But now I'm getting hungry. Imagine how I feel. You guys think this looks good, man. You should be smelling it. There we go. Just one more little scoop. There we go. Put the lid back on that rice. I'm trying to see how many dishes I can make today. And then right here, make sure I get some of these peppers. Gotta get the peppers. So I like mine spicy. And there we go. Bring you guys right over here. We'll give it a try. There we go. Kung Pao chicken. A la Badger. Yeah, I'll take that. Fuzz Fork, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Get myself I always neglect to get myself a spoon and a fork. And something to drink. Throw that in there. Throw that in there. Get myself some. Got my tang. Got my Sunday morning tang. Gotta have that. But yeah, I think that looks pretty darn good. And that was all. There was no prep done with that. It was all done in an hour and 15 minutes. And within an hour and 15 minutes, we're about to smash. So I'm not complaining about that one bit. Hour and 15 minutes, no prep done ahead of time. Ready to roll and ready to try. Get my drink. I want my drink ready to go just in case it's hot. Like super, super steamy hot. There we go. Throw another one of those. Throw another one of those peppers just for looks. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see. Slap that on a cookbook. Yeah, yeah, it does look pretty good, doesn't it? Thank you so much. Let's give it a try. Move you guys around just a little bit. I could plate better. I plate like crap. I would not be. If I was on that show, The Bear, they'd be mad at me. My plating's terrible. Try the chicken first. That chicken's great. You know, and we only velveted it like 20 minutes of the, probably like right around 20 minutes, 25 maybe at the most. And that chicken's really, I mean, that's takeout quality. Takeout quality right there. Yeah, it's not bad at all. And if you notice, I didn't over broccoli. I didn't put so much broccoli in it that it's just like an insane amount. Let's see. Yeah, it won't be on the plate for long. But yeah, that came out really nice. And like I said, for an hour, start to finish, hour and 15 minutes, I'm not going to complain. And I haven't even put any soy sauce or anything on it yet. But what I didn't put on it, hold on, let's redo this for a second, that all together, because I forgot the most important, I always forget this part, but the scallions on top, the green onions. There we go. That looks a lot better. Now it's all pretty like, but I knew I was forgetting something. Man, that's really good. Drop a little soy sauce on there. Yeah, that's not bad. It's kind of sweet. I will say that. But I put half as much sugar in it as it says to put in. So, I don't know. But it is kind of sweet. The soy sauce helped. And I got one of those peppers, and that helps too. Yeah, that's really good. I'd be down for that. I need a fortune cookie. That's really good. Wish we had more flavors. I am bored. Oh, had more. You got all the flavors. Yeah, that's banging. I got one of those. It would have been nice with all that heat of the, like I said, these Tabasco peppers, they're really spicy. And I'm not even going to play like, oh yeah, it's not spicy at all. Those Tabasco peppers are insane hot. But that's why I didn't put, normally I'll drop a little bit of crushed red pepper into this, but I knew how hot these would be. And I know the cayenne peppers, they're also really hot. Yeah. Maybe could have used a little more peanut. Could have used more peanuts. But I only put 1/8 of a cup of peanuts in there. Whack, what's up? How are you? Good to see you. I don't have my I took my glasses off so I can. My glasses are for seeing far away because I can see perfect like in front of me. But to read stuff small like on the comments, I have to have my glasses on or it just looks like that. So I'm like over my shoulder. Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, that's super awesome. Yeah, Fuzz is in the house. And it probably doesn't. It helps too that I've been up since like 4 o'clock, 3:30, 4 o'clock this morning. And I made 2 loaves of sourdough last night. And my time was off by about an hour and a half. So I didn't get my sourdough done till about 11:30 last night. I thought I was going to be done at like 10 o'clock. And they got done at like 11:30. But then I got up at 3:30. A little before 4 or whatever, and I came out and I had like 2 pieces of sourdough toast with some butter and some jelly, and I started drinking coffee. That's all I've had today. I did run out for a little bit and grab a couple things. I didn't have green onions, which that's basically the reason that I ran out, was to grab green onions, and then I didn't put them on it. Goes to show you I don't pay attention. Man, that's really good. I can't stop smashing it. It's like really that good. I mean, just absolutely killing. And it just needed that little bit of soy sauce like I'd put on at a restaurant. And I'm gonna eat that whole pepper. Wow, that's good. That's so good. I don't remember the last time I had a Little Debbie oatmeal cookie. I saw some lady on a live stream making them the other day. But I don't like, one of the things I don't like, I don't know, that I used to really like, but I don't like anymore, is marshmallow. And they all fill the centers up with the marshmallow stuff, and I'm just not big on marshmallow anymore. I just can't mess with it. But yeah, I really wish I had an egg roll, and well, actually 2 egg rolls, some of that hot mustard, and a fortune cookie. That would be total fire. There we go. I'm actually going to get some of that chicken. Speaking of that chicken, everybody's buddy is probably the beagle. She tapped. She was like, I was out here for a while. Nobody was talking to me. You were just out here talking to yourself, and I was out here doing stuff. So let me get another little bite of this chicken. And speaking of chicken, then we'll get the beagle out here, and we can get that beagle some chicken, because she tapped. She gave up. She's like, yeah, nobody's talking to me. And I'm sure she has to wonder. She's like, you're out here talking, but you're not talking to me, so who are you talking to? Because sometimes she'll come out and look out the window, out the patio door, to see if I'm talking to somebody outside. But anyway. Oh, I love sourdough toast too, man. Oh my God. And you know what I did, Ronald? What I did the other, last night, when I did my, I made 2 loaves of bread, and I did an experiment. So what I did was, normally I use 500 grams of flour, which is what? Basically 5 cups of flour. And then I use 50 to 60 grams of sourdough starter. But yesterday I did, because I like my bread softer. I don't like it as airy. Like if I'm gonna have it on sandwiches and stuff, because everything drips through it on sourdough bread. Excuse me. And so what I did yesterday was I put, come here, Beagle. So I doubled up the sourdough. And I doubled up the sourdough starter, so I went with 100 grams of sourdough. Oh, I always hit that damn thing. Here, get back over there, where you get in your spot. But I I doubled up the sourdough starter to 100 grams of starter, and then I took off 50 grams of the flour, and it made a really, really soft bread. And it's not so dense, but it doesn't have the big holes in it, and it's not crunchy to where when you cut into it, it just goes all over the place. How's that chicken? It is onion and garlic free, just like as recommended by 9 out of 10 veterinarians, that beagles don't eat onions or garlic. Can you speak? Can you speak? Oh yeah, good job. There you go. She's got her own. Yeah, Ronald, I made her own chicken out of the when I was rendering the trimmings. That's what she's got. Can you shake? Can you shake? She's like, take it and give me my chicken, goofball. I want a 2-for-1. I wanted a 2-for-1 on the tricks. There we go. She was out there literally, before she came out here the first time. She was out there laying like frog style in the living room floor, barking at her tail. I don't know what she's doing. She likes to get over stand where she's standing right now, and then she'll get to the mirror, the reflection in the oven, and she'll do her feet like she's getting ready to charge, and she just like scratch. It almost sounds like a match. She'll just sit there and go, whoosh, whoosh, and she'll look at herself do it, and then when it's dark and the patio door is like a mirror, she'll stand in front of the mirror over there and do it, like she's trying to see how tough she can be. I don't know what's going on with that. Can you speak? Speak. 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 There you go. There you go. That's got to be that's a nice little treat for just a little dog in a big world getting a little chicken on a Sunday morning. Can I get maybe one more spin? Well, I wanted to spin. There you go. Everybody loves the spins. There you go. And you cannot bite my finger off. What type of dog is he? Mixed with a pit and jack? No, it's a terrier for sure. She's a oh gosh, it escaped me all of a sudden. What the heck is she? She's a rat terrier. She's a rat terrier. Yeah, that's what she is. Usually rat terriers are either brown or black or a little bit of both. It's really kind of weird for them to be brindled like she is. It's probably why she was free. Well, she actually wasn't free, but it might as well have been. Can I get one more spin? I don't want to make you sick. But we're almost out of chicken. Yeah, but the beagle thinks I just call her Beagle. You know, and I think I told you guys this. We went to the vet. It's been about a month ago. She had to get her booster shots and all that stuff and get a checkup. And they asked me what her name was, and I forgot. And that's one of the reasons she's called the Beagle, because none of the names stuck. We couldn't think of it. Every time she'd get a name, it didn't send right. Can I get a shake? Thank you. There you go. Oh, and we forgot down. We forgot down. Down, down, down. Down. Down, down, down. 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 You're not one to do down, are you? Down. Yeah, that was good enough. We should just make that bow. Yeah, if she thinks she's a beagle. It was funny, there was something, there was one of the, it was the one where there was a cartoon that I came by the other day, and it was the one where Charlie Brown went to the, I think it was the Daisy Hill puppy farm and got his beagle, Snoopy. There you go. All right, that's about it. All right. Here, you want to lick the bowl? There you go, lick the bowl. That's why I run it through everything everything gets washed and then goes through the dishwasher. She's fine. She thinks it's another dog. Yeah, she does think it's another dog in the mirror. But yeah, she definitely thinks it's something. I don't know what she thinks it is, but she's probably just bored of hanging out here looking at my silly ass all day long. But anyway, I'm going to jump off here. It's 12:30. So I'm going to finish the rest of my lunch. I'm going to get everything cleaned up and get back to my day going. Let you guys get back to your day as well. And all that. But I thank everybody for showing up. Bob the Builder, thank you so much for stopping in. Ronald Coward. I'm going to keep it real. Want to shout out special to Greg Hart and Rick Stumbaugh, who were kind enough to moderate this madness today. And so many people that just popped in. Tuckerverse, awesome live. Thank you, Tucker. Glad you stuck it out, buddy. There, one piece of chicken. And just everybody else. Old Man with a Pan, Smoking Bears, Rusty, Rocket Caver, thank you so much for showing up. Yeah, please like and sub. We're almost to 1,000. Almost to 1,000. And once we hit 1,000, I promise, then I'll shut up. I'll shut up about it. I promise. Yeah, and so many others. I mean, so many folks today came in and were nice enough to come and share their Sunday with me and hang out and have some Kung Pao chicken. Kung Pao chicken was great. Try the recipe. This one was a good one. You can adjust it to how you want. Everybody's Kung Pao chicken is different from place to place. So anyway, I'll let you guys go. Thursday, I don't know what we're going to do about Thursday as being at Thanksgiving. And since I'm not doing Thanksgiving this year, my family's all spread out this particular year. Unlike every other year where we all get together, but this year they're all spread out all over the place and we'll not be able to get them back. So I'm not doing Thanksgiving this year at home. There will probably be a pop-up video, and we will definitely be doing something that has to do with probably Thanksgiving leftovers on Sunday, next Sunday's live stream. So look for the pop-ups on there, subscribe, hit the notification bells, and so you see when it comes up. If you want to stop in and say hi during the break, everybody's off. So I'll probably be doing something. Not sure what it is yet, but I do have a turkey in there thawing out, so I might spatchcock a turkey or maybe even take it outside and put it on the grill. Who knows? But we'll do something. All right, I'm going to jump out of here, and I will see you guys in the comment section. All right, see you.